Alright, so I set up the camera on the floor. I mean on the ground in the yard, so hopefully you can see me ride. There it is. Yep, pretty exciting, huh? So the cool thing about this device is when you turn it off, see how it rolls back? Like easily just falls over, right? No balance whatsoever. It's pretty much sleeping, it's dead, okay? As soon as you hit the button, it stiffens up itself. Now I literally cannot lean it forward. It's so weird. But there's a button under here. There's a button under this handle, and when I lift it up, it stops it from balancing itself. Basically, it stops the wheel from moving. So look at that. You see? Let go of the button, can't do it. So that's pretty much half of the battle, is this thing balancing itself. Now, what we do with the lessons is we teach you how to get used to getting on it, getting off it, getting on it, getting off it by holding a pole, you know? By holding a pole like this. And you just get on it. And basically what you're doing is you're learning to get these muscles and other muscles as well used to standing up on one wheel. Because this is doing most of the balancing. The other challenge, like I said, is your muscles getting used to it. So let me just get on it. Yeah! Oh my gosh. I feel like I haven't been on this for a while. This is the funnest thing I've ever bought. Oh my god. How you doing? There's a guy who's paused to look at it. Brakes. So one thing I'm noticing is, so the reason you saw me struggle to get on it is because I've never used these shoes on it, these sneakers. I'm so used to using my boots, which are a little bit more sturdy and rugged. There's no play in my boots, but this right here, this sneaker, I've had this sneaker for about 4 years, and so I got on it and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's too much play in this. So I literally had to readjust my mind and my feet to get used to this sneaker. But once I did, I'm fine. So, rule of thumb, get a shoe that you like. Ugh. This is so awesome. This is so cool. So used to it. It's not like second nature to ride it for me, because before I used to be so careful getting on it, but now I'm so used to it. But even so, even if you're used to this, even if you're used to this, you should not get too comfortable. It's a machine. It's a machine. You can get hurt. You can get hurt. And what's worse is, it's not like a bicycle, like a motorized bicycle, where the motorized bicycle, it's two wheels, and whether you don't have the electronics helping you balance the motorcycle or the bicycle. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to respect this machine. Now this one is the SCV model, and its maximum speed is 13 miles an hour. I believe the range is 13 miles, about 12 miles or something like that. So every now and then, once you get used to this one, you will see it'll like say, there's a speaker in there, and it'll say, please slow down once you reach the 13 mile per hour limit. You can turn down the volume by using the app, but I keep it on just because when you reach the limit, it actually increase, like the incline of the pedals, it comes up like this. Like it brings up the incline of the pedals so that it automatically slows you down. So that kind of catches you off guard if you're not used to it. So you're like, what's going on? But when I hear please slow down, I know what's going on. So when it does lift the pedals to slow me down, I'm not shocked. And at this point, I'm pretty much used to it. So yeah. Now I'm gonna turn on the light so you can see the light when I come back. See, this is the light. It's pretty sick. You won't see it because it's day. Probably won't be bright on the camera, but it's pretty sick. And then you have the backup lights, which is probably a little dim. You can't really see it. But isn't that cool? I mean, look at it, man. That is the most futuristic thing I've ever experienced. I was never like into the hoverboards or the Segway, or this is just fascinating, man. It's just so compact. Oh my gosh. Another thing I notice is sometimes when you're riding on the sidewalk and you see a tree, clearly you don't want to hit the tree, right? So what I did what I normally would do. I bent down, like I stooped. But what I noticed is the lower I stooped, the more wobble I became, because I think it has something to do with the center of gravity. I don't know. It has to be. Because when I'm straight up, because my trainer, when he taught me, he was like, keep your back straight. And the straighter I kept my back, the more stable this thing was. So I figure when you dip, naturally you're going to be off balance and your center of gravity is going to be affected. And maybe that's the reason it's wobbly. But I noticed that, I'm like, oh man, it's crazy. It's not like when you're on a bicycle and then you see something in the way and you bend down, and you still have some stability. I was just curious to see if this thing is recording or not. Oh, okay. Let's go for a little more. Let's ride this a little more. Yes. This is so... Oh, I dropped it. That's okay. Yeah, so this is so much fun. It's so much fun. It's like the best piece of technology I've ever bought. When I was in college, I bought a bicycle. I'm talking about like one of those road bikes, and I loved it. It was like, wow, this thing is awesome. But this is so cool, man. It's so cool. You don't have to worry about sweating. You don't have to worry about, oh man, when I'm done riding, I have to take a shower. Nope. Just you and your one wheel. Just you and your one wheel. I told my mother, I said, Mother, I got rid of my car because I can't afford 4 wheels. So I had to sell 4 wheels and settle for 1. But I'm like the experimental one in the family. I make so many mistakes in my life, and it's only natural that one of these would come into my hands. You know, because I don't know what it was about the other ones, the hoverboard, the one that was so popular, you know, the 2-wheel one that was so popular. It just never got my attention. But this one, oh my gosh, it looks so futuristic. I mean, look at it. This is how it parks. This is exactly how it parks. And you could expand this if you want, but it's amazing, man. It is amazing. Just you and your 1 wheel. I was gonna get the black one, but I'm like, if I got the black one, no one will see me at night. But if I get the white one, at least they could see me, you know, and not hit me. But this is fascinating. Look at me. I'm just sitting here with 1 wheel, and it's so easy to ride, man. Once you get used to it, it's beautiful. In motion. It says in motion, life in motion. That's the title. Life in motion. That's so cool. That is so cool. Yeah. So let's hope we can make this event work, because I'm very interested in making this event work. It's so beautiful outside. Anyway, there's no park in the neighborhood that I could go to. I don't know of any park that I could go to right now besides Franklin Park, which is probably not that close. Yeah, I feel like it's not that close. But yeah, pretty cool though.